Ethan Black was different from the rest. He wasn't interested in fame, fortune, or the approval of others. People called him a Sigma, a lone wolf, who lived life on his own terms. To many, his detachment seemed like arrogance, but those who knew him understood that Ethan was simply a man who thrived in solitude, driven by his own code and purpose. Living on the edge of the city in a small, nondescript apartment, Ethan led a life that was a mystery to most. His days were filled with rigorous physical training, mastering survival skills, and quietly observing the world around him. He had no need for the distractions of social media, or the mindless noise of everyday life. Ethan preferred the sound of silence, the thrill of danger, and the clarity of focus that came from living on the edge. He wasn't always this way. Once, he had been a part of the system, a top intelligence operative, one of the best. But after witnessing the corruption within his agency, the betrayal of comrades for political gains, and the manipulation of innocent lives, he had walked away, choosing instead to live a life of solitude, away from the lies and deceit. Yet, the world had a way of pulling you back in. One evening, while sitting in a dimly lit cafe, Ethan noticed a nervous man in a dark coat enter. The man was scanning the room anxiously, his hand gripping a briefcase as if it contained his life. Ethan's sharp eyes caught something that others didn't, a subtle bulge under the man's coat, and a telltale sign of trouble. Moments later, two men entered behind him, their movements synchronized, their eyes cold and calculating. Ethan recognized the look. They were hunters, not of animals but of people. The cafe's atmosphere grew tense, the air thick with anticipation. Ethan didn't know the man, but his instincts told him that trouble was brewing, and trouble had a way of finding him. Without hesitation, Ethan moved to intercept. As the two men approached the stranger, Ethan stood up, casually placing himself between them. "Lost something?" he asked, his voice calm, masking the undercurrent of alertness. The men glared at him, clearly taken aback by his audacity. "Move aside," one of them growled. Ethan smirked. "Sorry, boys, but you're blocking the view." Before they could react, Ethan launched into action. A swift punch to the first man's throat, and a knee to the stomach sent him crumpling to the floor. The second man lunged, but Ethan was faster, twisting his arm behind his back and slamming him into a nearby table. The cafe erupted into chaos, patrons scrambling for the exit. The stranger, the man with the briefcase, looked at Ethan with a mix of fear and gratitude. "Thank you," he stammered. I don't know who you are, but I need your help." Ethan didn't respond immediately. He studied the man for a moment, assessing the situation. "What's in the case?" he finally asked. The man hesitated. "Information, vital information, that could expose a network of criminals operating within the government. They're trying to kill me to keep it quiet." Ethan sighed internally. He had left the world of espionage and secrets behind, but it seemed it hadn't left him. "Follow me," he said curtly, "and keep up." The two of them slipped out of the cafe and into the back alleys of the city. Ethan knew they had little time. More would be coming. He led the man through a maze of narrow streets, using every shortcut and back route he knew, finally arriving at an abandoned warehouse. Inside, Ethan activated a hidden panel, revealing a concealed room filled with surveillance equipment, weapons, and maps. "We're safe here for now," he said. "Tell me everything." As the man began to explain, Ethan listened carefully, piecing together the details of a conspiracy that stretched far beyond what he had imagined. This wasn't just any ordinary criminal ring. This was something much bigger, something that threatened the lives of countless innocent people. Ethan's mind raced. He had no love for the system, but he had his own moral compass, and this crossed the line. He realized he couldn't walk away. Not this time. The life of a Sigma was about living by your own rules, and Ethan's rules didn't allow for standing by while others suffered. Grabbing his gear, Ethan turned to the man. "You stay here. I'll deal with them," he said, his voice steady. The man looked at him, bewildered. "But why are you doing this?" Ethan smirked, his eyes sharp with resolve. "Because I can," he replied, "and because someone has to." With that, he stepped out into the night, ready to face whatever danger awaited him. He was a Sigma, a lone wolf in a dangerous world, and he would fight, not for glory, not for recognition, but simply because it was the right thing to do.